Chris, you cannot win.
I know he had the number one pick.
You got destroyed. This is crazy. But
Yeah.
let's keep it going. But
He's only given one answer.
Yeah, no, I understand. What up, everybody? Collector Investor Podcast featuring the one and only Texas Snowman, and I am your humble co-host, Christopher Sewell. How you doing, Texas Snowman?
I am good, Christopher. How are you?
Great. You said just a second ago I should bring my braid back, which is what I had when I first started my YouTube channel. It's a Padawan braid that came down to about here, and I like that idea. It wouldn't be as long as your hair, but we could try to match the energy there.
You should match the energy. You should definitely bring it back. It was cool.
Yeah. What's going on in your world?
A little sick today, but doing really good, man. Excited for the upcoming auction. It's likely going to break the record. So yeah, really excited about it.
You mean the May auction, the May CIA auction?
Yeah.
When will the preview hit like May 4th or something like that?
It hits May 1st, and then so the bidding always starts the first Thursday of each month, and the Friday before the preview goes live. So preview will go live May 1st, and then bidding goes live, May 6th, 7th, 6th, something like that. Yeah,
right.
I have to look. I don't have it up right now, but yeah, the first Thursday of May.
Roughly that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I got something going on in my world. I'm actually moving into an office. I've been in my basement for a long time. I got a couple employees now, and it's a little too tight. So yeah, we're going to be moving into an office. So I just found an office nearby in downtown Towson, and we're going to be moving in there over the next few weeks. So that's exciting. I've never had a real office before.
Congrats, dude. How many square feet?
I don't know, 2,000, something like that.
2,000. Nice. Heck yeah. It's May 7th, by the way. I just looked.
May 7th. Okay.
7th. Yeah, May 7th. Well, dude, congrats, man. That's awesome. Awesome.
Thank you. So we got an exciting show for you today. We're going to be talking about Topps Chrome Football and the crazy boxes prices that they are crazy, and some crazy sales that have come out of that. We got a debate coming up about some of the best food issue cards ever, and that's a little bit of a niche topic, but I think viewers will generally like it. And then of course we'll be taking questions from viewers, as we always do. So a lot to get into. You ready to jump right in, Texas?
Ready,
Snowman.
Ready, sir.
Okay, so how up to date are you on the Topps Chrome Football story, which is pretty wild?
I'm not as up to date as you and Theo are. I know some, but you guys are more up to date on that for sure.
Yeah. So just a quick background: box prices are absolutely out of control. I think Neo Cards and Comics. He's one of the leading people, sort of given the background behind what's going on. Basically, breakers, it appears, are getting all the allocation. Card stores and collectors are getting little to none. I think Rob from Burbank Sports Cards came out and complained that he got something like 3 cases. He got like 3 cases in total, and he's got one of the maybe the biggest store in the world, but he's not a priority because he doesn't do breaking. So the Topps and Fanatics are giving all the product to the breakers, as they have like stacks and stacks and stacks, while card stores are getting very little, and this is leading to insane prices. And I mean, look at these prices: $1,200 for a hobby box, $1,800 for a jumbo box. You get 2 autographs in there. You know how likely it is that both autographs are going to be like $10 cards. It's quite likely. So just think of like the potential ROI on a box like this. It's not. There's no justification to open it. I mean, you can obviously hit a Jackson Dart 101 Superfractor and break the bank, but that's very, very unlikely. But yeah, so the box prices have gotten out of control, and that's sort of been the big story of the week. What's your initial thoughts on that, Snowman?
I mean, I think the boxes are I think it's eventually going to hurt the hobby. The boxes are just too high, and I think there's eventually going to be a breaking point where people just aren't going to want to pay it anymore because they realize, man, I spent $1,200 and got $100 out of the box, more than, too many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's already gotten there. Like clearly Fanatics wants their distribution to be breakers. Because breakers can fractionalize these things by teams and make a lot more money than Robin Burbank can selling a box to a collector. So they've gotten out of control, and I mean it makes sense from a business standpoint. But as someone who grew up opening packs, that's how I got into the hobby, opening packs. I mean, $1,200 for a hobby, but like, what are we even doing here? And so one of the interesting sort of side things that's been happening is that some of the stores get initial allocation. They get very little at a much lower price. And a week later, the price is 3x. And so if they want to reorder, they have to pay 3x. And as a store, what do you do with that initial allocation? Let's say you get boxes at, I don't know, $400. And on the secondary market, they're selling for $1,000. What should you as a store owner do? Should you price your box at $500 so you make your little bit of profit, or should you price it at $1,000 and gouge the customer? Those are sort of your two options, and neither of which are great. What do you think there?
It's a tough call, man. I mean, I'd certainly want to lean towards being super fair to the customer, but from what I've been hearing, a lot of the card stores owners, the problem is that breakers are largely going in to buy the boxes to sell them on their own breaks. So it's like, well, I mean, if I can get $1,000 from these breakers, because they're going online and buying these boxes for $1,000, they come here to buy them for half, and none of my other customers get the boxes because they come in right away. I mean, there's certainly a justification, I guess, to do that. But I mean, I wish that they would be reasonable, be $400, whatever, 500, and there was a lot more regulation. At the end of the day, I think there just needs to be regulation on breaks. Like, I think that would solve a lot of it. Have some kind of regulation, like, hey, you're allowed to break it for X percentage over the allocated amount that Topps distributes the boxes, that kind of a thing. Obviously, breakers wouldn't be thrilled about that, but I think it would really protect the hobby as a whole, because, man, there's too many people losing too much money. I would like to think eventually people would slow down, or a lot of people come to a hard stop on buying boxes or buying into breaks. Obviously, that's not, happening fast enough, I guess, but I just hate to see so many people lose so much money. At the end of the day, if they want to do it and it's fun for them, go for it, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, as someone who does not buy in any breaks, and I don't even know anybody who participates in breaks, but maybe we're the old people now. That's not how young people hobby, which might be just the truth. It's really hard for me to believe that breaks are doing that well, given how bad the return is on them. But clearly they are. So, we're not the target audience anymore. That's clearly true. One thing stores have started doing, which I really like, or I like in principle. So let's say you buy, and by the way, back to your point about if you're a store owner and you got allocation at 400 and now they're going for 1,000 on the secondary market, you can't price them at 500 because somebody's going to walk in and buy them all, and they're just going to flip them and for a huge profit. And as a store owner, why are you letting somebody else get the profit? It doesn't make any sense. But one thing I like that they've started doing, or it's at least an idea, is if you walk in and you buy the box, you can buy it at I don't know what the numbers would be, but you can buy it at the $500 rate, which is way below market value, but they slice the thing. So you basically have to open it. You can't resell the box because it's open now. They slice it in front of you, and you now have the box, and you can take it home and open it yourself, but you can't resell it as a box. But if you want to buy it and keep the seal, you have to pay the $1,000 price tag or whatever. And then that way, if you wanted to flip it or hold it forever, you could do that. But as a store, I like that concept a lot. Like, you give the buyer the opportunity to do either, but they can't make a huge profit off your product by flipping it right away.
In theory, I like it.
I mean, it's not a perfect idea, but it's better than nothing, sort of, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, in theory, I like it. But it kind of going back to your point about, I guess we're just the old guys now.
Yeah, we are.
So my my guys went to DCS New Jersey, and it was the first New Jersey show that Dallas Card Shows put on. And dude, it was packed there. They said it was absolutely packed, and it was big too. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a small little show. It was big and it was packed. But they said the vast majority was modern, and the vast majority of people there were younger people. And they would come in, and David, our number 2 at CIA said, he's like, man, I can't tell you how many conversations I had with people that was like, hey, this is a great card, but I can't pay you 120% for it. It's really nice. You know what I mean? And dude, they were insistent on they would give us a deal at 100% to buy it. Like insistent, like, dude, I will give it to you for retail. I'm like, no thanks. You know what I mean? So but then they're like, well, we okay, fine, we'll just find somebody that will. And I'm like, you're going to be going around the show the entire day, and you're going to end up leaving with the card. But like, why do people think that way? I don't understand that. I mean, if you're selling directly to a collector, sure, yeah, get retail for that card. That's totally fine. But coming to a dealer at a show or an auction house at a show and wanting them to purchase it for you for what the market says it should sell for and make nothing, like, why do people think that that's a thing? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
more people think it's a thing than ever before. I also think we're in a crazy bull market where everything's been going up for a while, or not everything, but in general, things are going up.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's more justification for that mentality than ever before. I don't agree with it as a dealer. I'm not paying 100% certainly not on a modern card, which could just as easy, fall tomorrow. But I think there's more. All I'm saying is that there's more justification than in the past because stuff generally is going up. I mean, a lot of people probably sold Ohtani's at 100% a few months ago and are really upset with themselves for doing so.
Yeah.
But I can see how that would be get frustrating for David.
The vast majority of it, he said, was ultra modern. So it was like prospect guys, brand new guys, really.
Have you seen some of the sales of 2025 Topps Chrome football? Yeah. I should have had Theo pull it up. There my boy Junkwax, he in his last video he posted I think he was just posting somebody else's tweet, but it was 2 Josh Allen's. It was a 2000. I'm going to get the numbers exactly wrong, but it was a 2025 Topps Chrome Auto raw, and then his 2018 Prism Blue Auto PSA 1010 at a 99, and they sold for the same price. One's is rookie, serial number at a 99 with a PSA 1010, and the other is raw and not his 8th year, and it's and I don't even think it was numbered. Maybe it was numbered to 150. I don't know, but they sold for the same price just because Topps Chrome is so hot out of the gate. But warning for anyone watching: don't go buy high-end Topps Chrome football right now. Wait a couple months, and you'll be able to get it at a heavy discount off of today's prices.
There is no way. Now, I could eat crow. I don't know how, but there is no way that price is going to be sustainable, period.
No.
How is that worth the same amount as his rookie? It's not. You know what I mean? It's just not. Yeah. So I think that right there is going to bring a correction. I hope that these boxes come down to a more reasonable price, man. And there's more regulation on things. It would be really good. But historically, this is not a new thing, really, as far as, because as soon as product comes out, it's hot. Everybody wants it. Every year, let's take football, for example. You have the collegiates come out first, and then you have some of the lesser brands come out, and then they come out with the they came out with the Panini, the good Panini brands and the contenders and stuff like that. That comes out later. And as soon as those comes down, all the other product goes down, and then you fast forward another 3 months, it continues to come down, and so it's not a new thing. I think it's just gotten more extreme, is really the only
Yeah,
difference.
well, and this
That's
may be
nuts.
the most extreme ever. Is this 2025 Topps Chrome Football?
It's got to be, man. I mean, a prospect out the gate and somebody has fear of missing out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I could see that going really high, and they're hoping they're the next Otani or they're the next Brady or next Mahomes or whatever, and it's just going to go way up. You know what I mean? But not Josh Allen when he was a rookie in 2018. That makes no sense to me at all. None.
Now
Zero.
that being said, the Tecmo Bowl cards are awesome.
The what?
The Tecmo Bowl inserts. Have you seen
Oh,
those?
yeah.
No, they're way
no, actually,
overpriced. Oh.
Actually, I don't think I have seen those yet. No.
No, did you play Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're they look just like a Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, that's cool. I have to look it up when we're done.
They look cool, but they're I'm sure they're way overpriced and will unlikely to hold their value.
I mean, the price is what it is because they're wanting to justify the price of the boxes. The people selling them are wanting to justify it to keep it up so they can keep selling it for what it is. Or at least the people buying the boxes and buying into the breaks have to keep it justifiable what they're paying.
Yeah.
But it can't last. It can't last. If it lasts, I'll be the first to say I was so wrong. But I just don't see how that's going to last. I just don't. Mm-mm.
I would bet everything that in 3 months you'll be able to get the singles at much cheaper prices than today.
Gotta be. Yeah, that's wild to me, man. Time will tell, my friend. Time will tell.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good to move on, or is there other things you want to talk about with this?
No, that's good. I think we covered that topic.
All right, sweet. All right, here we go. We have question of the day. This is our favorite part of the show.
Vintage Baseball Treasures. Great show. Thanks, guys. Question. If you send in cards for grading for your personal collections or for your businesses, which of the big four graders are most likely to give you the grades that you expected? PSA, SGC, Beckett, or CGC? Can you rank them on accuracy from your experience? Chris used to do grading reveal videos and show what the graded versus what he expected. Those were fun. Yeah, you want to jump at that first?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I really don't use Beckett at all. And I rarely use SGC. Kind of only for, I only use SGC for like vintage that I think will do poorly at PSA, basically. I would say SGC probably, if I was predicting, I would probably do best with SGC. I really don't use CGC either. So I don't have a lot of experience recently with Beckett or CGC. I would say SGC is definitely more consistent in my view recently than PSA, but they've gone down a little bit as well.
Yeah, so the majority of the time I go PSA for the pretty basic, simple reason of they command more money for the card, right?
Yeah.
Now I will use CGC at times and I will use Beckett at times, but the vast majority of the time I use PSA. I do find SGC to be more accurate. Like I'll give you a really good example that just happened. I sent a really nice looking Hank Aaron rookie to PSA, and they absolutely destroyed the grade on this thing. They gave it a 1 MK. Worst grade you can get, right?
Yeah.
And you look at the card, and I knew it was marked on the back, but it wasn't a 1 MK. Like that's like just that's a really bad grade, right? The card itself was at least, and I'm being harsh on the card, at least a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was marked. So at a minimum, it should have been a 2 MK, if not a 3 MK. So it's like when they see the mark, they just go to the bottom or something. If assuming it's not like a 5 or 6, 7 or 8 MK or something. I don't know why they gave it that.
Yeah.
But if I send that to SGC, it may get a 2. I don't know. It may get a 1. A 1 would be better than a 1 MK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what they would give it, but that was a really harsh grade, right? So if that's going to be more of a trend that I see happening, I'm not going to send that to PSA anymore. I'm going to send it to SGC because it absolutely obliterated that card. And to be honest, like I think that Aaron rookie's worth more raw than it is in that PSA holder. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it was crazy. Like if that was listed in CIA, I would have put the true grade that we feel like it is, and we would have put, good MK or good plus MK. It was not a 1. It was a beautiful card. I wish I had it here. I'd show it, but it was just a beautiful card. It was not a 1MK. So I would send it to SGC for that. I never use CGC ever. I like their cases. I just personally, I don't really use them much. If I was going to do a lot of Pokemon grading, I might use CGC for some of the lower end Pokemon stuff, but that would be pretty much it for me, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grading so much less than I have in the past. I send because the value proposition is not there, and with PSA being so strict and so inconsistent. And your example is a good one. I've run into a bunch of those where it's like, what are you talking about? What, and it's, you're expecting a 4 and it comes back a 1, and you're like looking it over and just can't figure it out. And you didn't pay up for the grader notes, so you don't know. So I'm just submitting a lot fewer cards to PSA than ever before, but none of the other companies sort of have taken the role to, where it makes sense to, oh, well, you're not going to PSA, then you should go to Beckett. That just hasn't been the case in my experience for most cards that I would submit. Most cards, if I'm not going to submit to PSA, I'll just sell them raw because I'll probably do better. The value props better that way. So that's how I've experienced it. SGC is the exception. Your Aaron is a good example, actually. That if PSA gave that a 1MK, I'd be like, I'm cracking this and sending it to SGC, because SGC will probably give it a fair grade of 3, or I don't know what they would do, 2.5. Maybe something where it lines up reasonably with what you expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because, let's just say a 3MK, I mean, that's basically a 1. Great.
But a 3MK would outsell a 1, I think, right?
It would outsell a 1. It would outsell a 1, but, it's a low grade card is my point. 1.5. Right. Maybe a 2 value, depending on the eye appeal of the card, but it would get what it should bring. Like, it's way more beautiful than it's in poor condition and it's marked, because it wasn't in poor condition at all. It didn't even have a crease on the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like a lot of times when we list, really good example. So when we list conditions on raw cards for CIA, we think, what would PSA probably grade this? And that's what we put on there, right? We put like within reason, right? So a couple of examples, like we sold a Dr. J raw, we put near mint, and they got a PSA 6. Okay. Well, I to this day believe you send it in enough times, it's going to get a 7, or it should anyway. We put VG on one, and it got a 4, PSA 4. Really happy about that. But the vast majority of the time, it gets the grade or within a grade of what we put on there. Vast majority of the time, vast majority. Yeah. So that's good. And I hate to even. There's a lot of times I wanted to put X Mint on there, but I'm like, gosh, man, they're so technical now. I have to put X. I can't put X Mint. That happens all the time.
Thor, you got something to say? We can't see you.
Yeah, so the one thing that I found the most interesting about Strongsville, and granted it was a vintage, the side of the show that I'm talking about is the vintage side of the show, is how few PSA cards we saw on that side of the show. And I started talking to I talked to some collectors, and they're like, it feels like this side of the room 70% SGC, which it's like, SGC is known for vintage, but like you guys were saying, like, PSA has a good stronghold in vintage as well, as far as what collectors are looking for. And I started talking to some dealers about it, and a lot of the dealers are like, well, they're like, the $15 is so appealing with SGC still, and you really don't know when you're going to get your card back from PSA, even though SGC's lead times have been like 2 to 3 months now. PSA's is even worse. So it's kind of interesting to see how the dealers seem to, at least the dealers we deal with at Strongsville, the vintage guys, seem to still be using SGC a lot. And I think Jeremy made a great point about really just looking at those. Like, if you think it's going to be a PSA 3, look at PSA 3 pricing, and then look at SGC 4 pricing.
Yeah.
Like that's my debate anytime somebody tells me PSA sells better than SGC. Well, PSA is a lot stricter. So if you're gonna play that game, you need to look at maybe one grade above for SGC, in my opinion, and then look at the price difference, not look at the same grade. So that's just my opinion with it.
I agree. The value proposition, there's a value proposition justification for SGC, and that's basically what you just said.
It makes sense, Theo, what you're saying. And there are times that I'll go to SGC, like I said earlier, that I'll use SGC, or maybe I didn't say it earlier, I can't remember. But on low grade examples like that, Aaron,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go SGC now because I don't want to take a gamble that it's just gonna get a 1MK or something crazy like that. So but when it comes to cards, especially that are like mid grade or higher, I'm going PSA every time, right? If it's a low grade card that's going to be worth about the same either way, SGC, PSA kind of a thing, I'd lean towards SGC for some of those sometimes, and sometimes I'd lean PSA. Just really depends, right? But
Yeah.
more times than not, I would go PSA. And in answer to Theo's comment there, I agree with that, but it's over like tons and tons of grading that I've found that overall it's a net positive financially to go with PSA. Even though SGC may grade it one higher, like you've done a lot of things where you would crack it out, send it to SGC, and you're like, well, really at the end of the day, it didn't really make much more money. Maybe one, because like I watched one and it was PSA gave the mantle an authentic and SGC gave it like a 4 or something. So mostly all your money you made was on that one correction. But besides that, it was basically a wash, so I don't know. Yeah, I wish it was always accurate, but it's not.
No, it's not. By the way, SGC is pretty delayed. By the way, I have an order there that arrived on February 2nd, still sitting there. So it's been 2.5 months with no update.
Yep. Missed the old days, man. Couple weeks.
Yeah, no, right.
Couple weeks.
That used to be their main selling point. That's actually something that I would argue that makes them less usable, because if PSA is running at 4 months and SGC is running at 3 weeks, yeah, you can very much justify. But if PSA is running at 5 months and SGC is running at 4 months, I mean, that's not a difference that matters.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
All right. So good question. Appreciate it, man. On to the next. Junk Wax Rookie. Go ahead, Chris.
All right. So Junk Wax Rookie gave us 5 lightning questions from the last week, and he's got 5 more here. So we'll take them each quickly and go each one quickly. Number 6, SGC in 5 to 10 years. Oh, that's the whole question. SGC in 5 to 10 years. What do you think?
I think it'll still be around. I think it'll still be worth less than PSA.
I know Moynihan has predicted it'll be gone, which is an interesting prediction. I would predict that it will still be around, and it'll be a boutique company that is used for like specialty vintage items.
Agreed.
Number 7, similar to the Junk Wax era, 89 Griffey, Bill Ripken, FF, Frank Thomas, no name on front. What are the top 3 iconic cards from the pandemic boom era, 2017 to now? Top 3. So it'd be tough to make a top 3 list off the top of my head. I'll definitely throw out the 2018 Prism Doncic.
That's what I was going to say. I'd say the 2017 Optic Mahomes rated rookies.
Good one. You think the Optic? Yeah, that's probably his most iconic card. The Donruss or the Donruss Optic. What is the same image? I think, right?
Yeah, I really like those. Those were super cool.
So the Mahomes, the Doncic, probably an Ohtani in there. Although it's so funny, Ohtani doesn't have like a single standalone super iconic standard card the way Doncic or Mahomes does there. But there's probably an Ohtani or the tops Acuna for some reason I think was really iconic. Although I don't know if he's held up as an all-time great. But neither Doncic and Acuna were sort of 2 of the big young guys of that era. But those are the 3 that come to mind off the top of my head. Any others for you?
No, there's several, but I think it's good for the top 3. Yeah.
All right. Number 8, most undervalued vintage baseball set with current prices. Tough one.
That is, man. I'm picking which one to say. Jeez. Most undervalued vintage baseball set with current prices in 60 seconds or less. I think that the 54 set's still undervalued. I mean, Hank Aaron rookie mid-grade being less than 10 grand, I think is crazy. So, yeah, I'd probably go with that one, I guess.
That's a good one. I would probably say a football set. Vintage football is so cheap. You could kind of take your pick as to which one you want to say is undervalued. I mean, I think like a 56 Topps The problem is there's no like key rookie in it. But
Yeah,
the
just
50,
the Aparicio.
no, I'm saying football. The 56 tops football is like you can get that set mid grade for like a few $100s.
Oh,
It's
well,
a cheap.
he's asking baseball sets specifically.
He is asking baseball sets, and I said that to see if you were paying attention, and you are. So congrats, you guys. Baseball. I'll just copy your 54. 57 maybe is a little. I don't know. 57 is loaded with rookies. Frank Robinson I always thought was undervalued. I'll throw that one out there.
I agree. Yeah, the Brooks is definitely undervalued as well. Yeah.
You have to pick a player to invest everything in 2020 rookie or newer. Who do you pick?
Oh man,
this is right up our alley. I'll say that there's nobody I would pick, but if I had to, I would choose Jaden Daniels because I'm a Washington fan, and that would be fun.
Oh man, everything. That's painful. Nobody. I can't. I just
Jeremy
put
passes
everything into a guy.
Pass.
I passed. Yeah.
Will postcards ever appreciate in value? Do kids these days even know about what a postcard is? No idea if they'll ever appreciate in value. If I was guessing, I would guess no. They're annoyingly their size is annoying if you're a card collector, so they don't really line up with card collectors in a lot of ways. And yeah, I don't think postcards are going to become more popular than. I think they're going to be sort of forgotten over time. So my guess would be no, but I really don't know if that's true or not.
I think that some of the more top end postcards will trickle up over time, gradually, very slowly. But the rest, I think, will just not really be worth much, for too much longer. Could be wrong, but yeah, I would largely echo what you said. But some of the better ones, I think, could maybe trickle up very, very slowly over time, or at least hold value. Okay. Yeah, because it does affect things if they're big. You've only got so much real estate to put your stuff, and if you got something big, that limits you.
Yeah. No, I don't like oversized cards at all, and I know a ton of people who echo that for whatever reason. But
yep. All right. Thanks for the questions, man.
Thank you, John Claxworth. We appreciate it.
All right, draft of the day. This is a fun one. What is the best vintage food issue set ever created? Snowman goes first. 3 rounds of destroying Christopher Seawall.
Yeah, and caveat, you can't choose any gum company, so you can't choose Tops, obviously. And no tobacco. Tobacco doesn't count as food.
I would certainly hope not.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to assume that these 2 sets would be counted as one answer.
That was going to be
You already know what I'm going to say. 1914 and 15 Cracker Jack is the greatest food series ever produced, ever. Arguably, period.
That was my number one, and that was my number one too. Shoot, I'm starting from behind here. How am I going to play catch up on that one?
I know.
The cards look amazing. They're way ahead of their time. Especially when they're
awesome.
Especially when they're like mid-ish grade, which is rare. But
and there's so much cool history about the crack. Come on. There's a baseball song about Cracker Jacks. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. So I love the Cracker Jack cards. They're awesome. And they're beautiful, and they're interesting too because they're just paper thin. If you ever seen one in the wild not graded, they are just so thin, incredibly thin.
Yeah.
So to find them in a respectable grade is very hard to find. And the 1914 they look identical to the 15, but the 14, the back is right side, and the 15 they're upside down. It's just there's a lot of cool stuff that you can nerd out on collecting that set. And actually, I'm getting a little bit of a wild hair to maybe start collecting that set. Yeah.
The 15 or the 14 are both?
The way I'm going to start it, because both of them are pretty rare. 14, of course, is much more rare than 15, but I'm probably just going to collect,
whatever you get.
Whatever I get. So, hey, this one's 15, this one's 14, and I'll just build. And I eventually maybe I have both 14 and 15 or something, but I'm not going to pick what year it is. Like if I have one, buy a collection or something. If it's 14 or 15, I don't care. I'll keep it,
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to start doing that. Yeah. It's fun.
Good call there. By the way, did you ever eat Cracker Jacks at the baseball game?
I have,
As a
yeah.
kid, they're disgusting.
Oh, I love them. I think they're good. Okay.
Yeah. Leave in the comments if you think Cracker Jacks are actually taste good or not.
Oh, I think they're pretty good. They
Um,
stale. I find that you can get some stale ones more often than you may like, and that's not fun. But yeah, as long as they're not stale, they're good.
yeah. Okay. Well, that was going to be my number one. I'll go with the Kellogg's from the 70s. A nice long run there for Kellogg's. Actually, they ran into the 80s, but started in 1970 in baseball and football, and they had a yearly set, I think, through the early 80s. And yeah, they're nice looking cards. They don't have much value compared to like Cracker Jacks because they're from the 70s and were produced a lot more. But they were popular for their day. One of the few semi-competitors to Topps over the course of the Topps era that actually got some traction. I mean, they lasted like 15 years or whatever. And yeah, I thought they were Kellogg's 3D's fairly creative set for their ahead of their time.
I've always wondered if the 68 3D Topps 3D kind of inspired that.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, maybe
70 was the first Kellogg, so it's like, well, as far as what we're talking about, there's technically some Kellogg's in like 1945 or something, but 1970 started the Kellogg's. But I always wondered if the 68 3Ds kind of stemmed that. I love 1970 Kellogg's cards. Those are awesome. I like those a lot. But
71 is actually the rarest set.
I know. 71 is definitely the rarest, but I love the look of 70.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. After 71, I'm not as interested personally, but they're just good. They're cool. I like it. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a little surprised you picked Kellogg's, but it went long enough that it makes sense to me why that would be your first pick.
Yeah.
So I want to pick another pre-war. However, I'm going to go in the 50s this time.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 54 Wilson Franks. 54 Wilson Franks, man. Didn't have a Mantle, but it does have a Ted Williams. I believe it's a 20 card set, ? I think it's 20.
Yeah.
But they are rare and they are highly desirable. We just sold an Eno Slaughter Wilson Franks signed, which was so cool. And man, that was just a cool card. I actually, it made me interested to maybe start building that set.
Yeah.
Because it was just so cool. Like a signed 54 Wilson Franks set, that'd be pretty cool, because it does have their signature on it. So it'd be kind of neat to have it signed right by their signature. But anyways, yeah, 54 Wilson Franks is my number 2.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily
Ooh,
value or whatever.
To say here.
Huh? Oh,
Thor has something to say.
Yeah. The rest of this is for fun. Chris, you cannot win.
I know he had the number one pick.
You got destroyed. This is crazy. But yeah. Let's keep it going. But
he's only given one answer.
Yeah, no, I understand. All right, you know what? I'm going to well, since I've already lost, I might as well just goof around then. I was gonna pick. That was, by the way, that was my number. That was my number 3 after Cracker Jack and Kellogg's. I'll go with the number 1950, also 54. The Red Heart, is that kind of food? The Red Heart.
It's dog food. I count it. Yeah.
Count it. And by the way, Thor, what are you talking about? The Red Heart dog food is better than the Wilson Franks. Actually, look, pull them up. Put a card side by side. The Red Heart looks better. It's a better looking set. Bright red background, a nice looking card. I think after 2 rounds, it's 1-1 here. I'll give you the Cracker Jack over Kellogg's, obviously, but you got Mantle in my set. You got Musial. Other than the Ted Williams, nobody knows a single card in the Wilson Franks. Punk.
All right. E92.
That was my nice one. Oh my God, you beat me to it on every one. Okay.
Well, being that we've been friends and partners for over 15 years and we think the same about pretty much everything, we should be stealing each other's answers back and forth on all this stuff. But E92 has so many different varieties, man.
But you're just saying like American Caramel in general?
Well, no, I mean there's a bunch of different E cards, for the caramels, but E92 specifically has a plethora of different versions of candy, Dockmans and Nadja and all kinds of rare oddities in the E92. It's not limited to just one candy manufacturer. There's several ads.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I would have thought like American Caramel was a category, but as opposed to E92 specifically. But
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, right. I see your point. Yeah, but I picked E92 because it has several different candy manufacturer backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll tell you the one that I was really thinking about picking. I wonder if you're going to pick it. If not, I'll say what it was after.
No, I ran out of options because all the ones I had written down have been said. I mean, I could go Post. I could go U.S. Caramel. Yeah, that's true. Stallmeyer.
E90-1, Joe Jackson's rookie.
Yeah, but again, I was thinking American Caramel was like one category.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'll say U.S. Caramel, 1932.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like sort of has like a Gaudi-ish like feel and size and look, but yeah. No, I acknowledge I got smoked here, but I want to say that it was the draft order played a part there.
It certainly played a part. Yeah, played a part.
Okay,
cool. That was fun. I think it was a hard call for Thor. It was a hard call.
So hard.
Sorry, good.
Chris got hit in the first round, and he just couldn't get off the ropes, man.
But if we were doing it round by round, I wasn't dead.
you
were shook, man. You went with Kellogg's first. You were shook, man. That was bad.
You know, I like the Kellogg's. Ignore value, Kellogg's can hang.
I got some right here. So we got Conn's Wieners. Come on, guys. Conn's Wieners.
That's a horrible.
Conn's is cool, but it wasn't my top.
Oversized and square. Terrible set.
Okay. How about some Hires root beer? One of the most iconic sets ever.
I'll give you that. Terrible checklist, though.
No.
All right. Nabisco? Like Nabisco?
I never liked the Nabisco.
That's a reach. Are these ones you saying you should have mentioned?
I'm going through some options. That's all. Yeah. How about some Milk Duds? Milk Duds?
That's an ugly card.
If it's full box, I do really like the Milk Duds. If they're cut, yeah.
All right, Post cereal.
I considered Post. Would you have said Post would have been a better pick than Kellogg's?
No, but I do have one written down. I'm going to go over that next. I don't have one. Do you guys consider Bazooka Food Issue because it's still gum, but it's unique gum? It's not the normal. It was in a box. So what do you think?
I consider Bazooka gum.
Yeah, I didn't consider it for that.
I know it's gum, but it's kind of like it's in a box. Like it's a little bit different. But
yeah, I know what you mean. But I would not have thought that would be allowed for this contest.
So an underrated one is Dandy potato chips.
Dandy's was on my list. Yeah,
man, beautiful set. Beautiful set. Another one that's very iconic is Hostess. You know.
Oh yeah.
An amazing. They had a great run there. Johnston's cookies with the alternative Hank Aaron rookie card. How about that?
Sure.
Mother's Cookies is another option, but that's kind of regional, so I wouldn't have put that one up there. And then Briggs Meats, I thought was a good one. But there's so many good food issues. You don't realize it until you start writing them all down.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not really a thing anymore. But yeah, food issue cards. But it was for a while there.
Well, Jeremy, congrats, man. You absolutely smoked him. So
whatever.
I'm very proud of myself. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on your win, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. That's a wrap. Any last words?
Yeah, man. Super fun. I'm gonna go bask in my glory of this epic win.
Yeah. Enjoy
all day.
I'm gonna not think of it again after we close.
All right. Appreciate you, buddy. Later, guys.
Man.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.